Hi everyone, welcome to the Global Thought Leaders TV. My name is Nim Stan. I'm super excited today. We have our special guest here, Christine Elizabeth Stable Ebanks.
Yes.
Am I saying your name correct?
You are.
Awesome, awesome. I love when I say everyone's name correct. But Christine, congratulations for this book, Rising Ethan Against All Odds.
Thank you.
What is this about, and what is your background, your story?
Okay, so thank you for having me. Thank you so much. So I'm originally from Jamaica, living in the United States. But when my son Nathan was born, he was diagnosed with a congenital diaphragmatic problem. So he had surgery at 3 days old. He's the fourth of 3 children. And he survived all of that. He came home. He wasn't developing as he should. I kept talking to the doctors, and they kept saying, you know, watch and see what's going on. And just through persistence, there was just something, that intuition inside that was telling me that something was wrong with my child's development. And it was a struggle to move from that point to get the diagnosis. And the diagnosis was cerebral palsy. And that was all we got, a diagnosis, along with a laundry list of what he would never ever do. He would never walk, never talk, never learn well, never all of that thing. And then we were sent home with this child with no other information. And it took me a while to pull myself out of depression and despair. I thought cerebral palsy was a death sentence and that he was going to die. And I started doing my own research just to try to help myself feel better. And that's when I began to understand the disability, and I began to understand that Jamaica as a country did not have the supports in place for children and families. And in order to give purpose to my pain, I started a nonprofit organization that was built on the platform of advocating for children with disabilities and their families. And through that advocacy work, people kept saying, you need to write, you need to write, you need to write.
Right.
And I also became aware of not just the national incidence of disabilities, which is significant, but also the global incident. And I began to recognize that there were so many other families like me who were given no information, because most systems tend to focus on the child, not on the family, not on the children. And so we struggled our way through. And as I struggled, I journal. And as I journal, I shared. And I began to realize that there was a need to bring the perspective of children and families into the conversations about disability inclusion.
Wow, what a story.
Yeah.
And what a powerful, the love of the mother that can turn into a movement that helping so many families.
Yes, yes.
Thank you for all you do.
Thank you.
Can you share with us a little bit about your nonprofit? What's the name of your nonprofit again?
So the nonprofit is the Nathan Ebanks Foundation.
Gotcha.
And we do a lot of capacity development. In Jamaica, we've since branched out into the Caribbean. And we do a lot of training with teachers. We do a lot of advocating through systems, through governments. And when we are told that something doesn't exist, we go find it.
Yeah.
And we bring it back.
Right.
Since moving to the United States 4 years ago, I started Raising Special Needs, Inc. Because I moved here and I thought, oh yes, I'm now in a place where there's so much available. But the problem was there's so much available. And you have to understand what you're looking for in order to find exactly what you're looking for, where to find it. You have to also, the systems don't talk to each other. So you also have to become that middle point that becomes what I say to people, that I help other systems understand my son so that they can better be able to support him with what they have resource available.
So you are the middle person.
The middle person.
To connect the families with the system, with the organization, that they can get help.
Yes, and then take it further with the professionals, because when a professional look at my son with cerebral palsy, no children are the same, no two persons are the same, and so it affects him differently. And so they have the clinical knowledge, but I'm the expert on my child. And so I teach parents that you need to pay attention to what's going on with your child. You need to understand when something is working, when it's not working. You have to tap into your own intuition, because even though you might not have the technical language, but being able to express yourself yourself to say, hey, I noticed when you did this with my son that happened. Just being able to do that helps systems to understand how to tweak the services that they're providing in order to support. And so I also feel that as families that our stories are not heard. And so there are a lot of systems that really don't understand what I call the lived experience of individuals with disabilities. And so what I do with my son when we move through the different specialists, I help to humanize him to them because they see him as his diagnosis. And I show them that he's more than that. So for instance, when he comes in and he goes, "Hi," I'll say to them, that's him telling you hi. When they ask me, does he like this? I say, ask him, and he'll give you a thumbs up. And so, yes, so I facilitate that connection to help others to speak to him. And that is something also that I encourage other parents to do, because as I've said, and I said it in my book, that sometimes the greatest gift that you can give to the world is the gift of your perspective.
And you and your family are the gift in the world right now.
Yes.
Of the world right now. And your book is available on Amazon?
It's available on Amazon and all other platforms wherever books are sold.
Can you share with us your website very quick before we wrap up?
Sure. It's ChristineStapleyBanks.com. I'm also on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn under my name.
So please reach out to Christine, learn about her work and her organization, and let's connect, and your family still have some hope, and let Christine guide you to that. Thank you, Christine, for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.